Wall Street Memes Casino.
I'm fine.
And Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFLTV, I can't even say who I work for. IFLTV, I know, you're making me very nervous. Probably that Josh Taylor's my friend of mine. I've known him since he was a kid. That's probably why I'm a little bit nervous, Skye. Delighted to be joined by Skye Nicolson. Skye, what a little good fun little card. Only 7 fights on this card, but it seems like every single fight's close to a good 50-50 fight.
Yeah, and that's what boxing fans love. So it's going to be a good night of boxing. Really well matched fights, exciting fights, and some really good talent that are coming through as well to keep our eyes on. But no, I'm excited for Saturday night.
You had a long drive up yesterday. You were tired, but you're ready to rock and roll today.
Yeah, I've actually just finished sparring. So we went to Sheffield for some sparring. I've literally just got back for the weigh-in, so a little bit fresher today. Yesterday was long, 5 hours in the car, but no, it was it was a long way up, but really excited for tomorrow night.
When you said sparring, I was thinking the only girls that are here is Caitlin, Bella, and Alex. I was like, hope you win sparring. Name 3, will you?
No. We went to the EIS in Sheffield, and the Australian team are there training for the Paris Olympics at the moment, so it's nice to see my old teammates. Got some sparring in with the girls there, and got some good rounds in. It was good.
We know that you're a world champion now, and now you've got that target on your back. Have you any call-outs yet? Have you had that? Who's called you out in this boxing world?
I mean, I wouldn't really say call-outs yet. Like, the target on my back's very highly favoured. It's welcomed. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk around fighting Raven Chapman. I think she's going to be the mandatory. We both got fights lined up for July, but I think that will definitely be both of our next fight. If all goes to plan in July, so I think we'll definitely see that after the summer. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to be easy to get fights now that I got the belt, but even just for this next fight, trying to get my voluntary defence in, we've made multiple offers to highly ranked girls, and we're still really struggling, but I think we've got things locked in now for July, and got a little bit of a plan in place for the rest of this year. So I mean, while I thought it was going to be a bit easier to get fights, we are still having our challenges, but I think hopefully the more I keep winning, keep building my profile, I can stop being that high risk, low reward fight, and hopefully be that fight that everyone wants.
You know what you probably need to do, Skye, right? Is you've won every round as a professional almost. Maybe you might have to take a couple of rounds off. You know what I mean? Let the girls know that, she is vulnerable, because you have that style where it's difficult to get a round off you. And maybe girls are thinking, well, that's a hard night. Well, like you said, high risk, low reward. So do you think maybe next fight you might just stick your chin in the air and let them have it? You
know what? There was a couple of fights that we could have had next that were styles that are probably very comfortable for me. But I actually said, while I like that fight for me 100%, I feel like I want to be challenged more, and I want to be able to show the other stuff I've been working on in the gym, because obviously when the fight's so comfortable, it's very easy for me to just do the bare minimum, and I don't want to do that. I kind of want to be put under pressure and show other parts that I haven't really had to bring out in a fight yet. My last couple of fights, I've really not come out of second gear, and I want to be under pressure. I want to have to bite down and fight a little bit. So we're trying to pick aggressive opponents, strong punches for my next couple of fights, so that we can kind of show a bit more of what I can do. I can do other stuff too, and I want to show that. So I'm hoping these next couple of aggressive opponents that are going to be coming in to win and coming in to take my head off, we'll hopefully get to see a bit more of what I can do.
We all know that you won that Amanda Serrano fight, but we know she's locked in with Katie Taylor. We know her age right now and how many fights she's had and how long she's going to stick around, but that's still a sort of name that you want in this sort of boxing game. You need that. Amanda Serrano's the type of fighter that will give you that sort of test, and that's the one you want. All going well against Katie Taylor, win, lose or draw, is that the name you still want?
Of course. While she's got the belts, that's the fight I want, naturally. It's nothing personal. I've said this time and time again.
You got to make it personal.
You know what? I think she feels like it's personal. It's not personal, but you have what I want, and I know and believe I can beat you. And I've said it from the start, I don't want to be fighting for vacant belts. I want to dethrone champions. That's a big part of what I want for my legacy. I don't want her to vacate the belts. I want to fight for them. I want to beat her that way, and I want to win the belts that way. So it's a frustrating one, but at the moment I can only control what I can control. I can only beat who's put in front of me, and I've just got to keep pushing, and hopefully, like I said, keep building my profile so that I'm not this high risk, low reward. I want to be the fight that they need. I want them to need me as well. So, that's the plan.
The thing is, you watch a lot of fights. You are a fighter. You do a lot of sparring, so you know a lot about this game. So when you look at that rematch with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, we know how good that first fight was. You break down fights because you do a lot of commentary. How do you see this rematch going?
To be honest with you, I think Katie wins more convincingly this time around. I think they're boxing up at super lightweight this time, not lightweight. Serrano is a featherweight. I think it might be a little bit too much weight this time. But not only that, just based off their last couple of performances, I think people thought the loss to Chantel was Katie on the slide, but then we saw an amazing comeback performance for her to win back the belts in her last fight. I personally don't believe Serrano has looked impressive in her last couple of fights, and against low level opposition at that, while Katie's fighting pound for pound greats. I think we're going to see very different levels compared to the first fight in this rematch.
I want to talk about this fight then, this rematch here, Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. Like I say, you watch a lot of boxing, you commentate on a lot of boxing, you are a fighter, so you should have a little bit of knowledge, you do have a little bit of knowledge, so break down this rematch. What are you expecting?
You know what, I feel like everything's on the line for both fighters. Obviously, the controversy around the last one, the long-awaited rematch between their last fight and tomorrow night. It's a hard one to call. I don't know either fighter personally, but I've met them both on the scene in little bits and bobs. I've seen them this week throughout fight week, and to be honest, I honestly thought Josh Taylor was going to be struggling with the weight, was going to be, underprepared maybe, whereas Jack Catterall, obviously, coming off the loss, has a lot to prove, was going to have everything right, but they both looked fresh today, they both looked great at the weight. I saw Josh Taylor in the gym last night and he was flying, he was singing, he was happy. That almost changed my mind a little bit from yesterday, thinking, you know what, I think like we're going to see maybe Jack Catterall come through and win more as convincingly as possible, but I think we're going to see fireworks tomorrow night. It's going to be one of those fights that it's who shows up on the night is going to get the win, and I'm excited for it.
Me too. I want to end it on this because I keep saying this because Australian boxing right now is on fire, man. You've got great fighters. Jaya Pataya against Maris Bredas last week. Liam Parrell's out in Puerto Rico against Subriel Mateus. Yourselves now a WBC world champion. I'm going to miss a couple of names out and you'll probably name them for me, but Australian boxing is on fire right now. When are we going to see that big, huge event in Australia where all you are on that same card?
I know, we're pushing for it, we're pushing hard for it. I'm really hoping that this next fight that is almost finished being locked in, my first voluntary defence, we're really trying to get it in Australia. If it doesn't happen, I think it will happen before the end of 2024, so hopefully very soon, but if not, not too far in the near future.
Listen, I cannot wait. Skye, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.